Hello, class. This is Josh Cuddyback. Hush Outdoors recently recalled BCD devices. BCD stands for Buoyancy Control Device. Um, what they basically are vests, such as this that I've put on, that you would wear if you were to go out scuba diving. You can strap an air tank onto the back, add weights into pouches, which will help with your buoyancy. And they also have what's called an inflator hose. This is the device that failed on the Zeal BCDs, which Hush recalled. This inflator hose is what adds or removes air while scuba diving. They have little buttons on it, two buttons. One basically add air, the other one remove air. This helps you control your buoyancy underwater. Obviously, if this device fails, that can be definitely life-threatening. If you get too much air in your BCD, you'll float up to the surface, and if you float up to the surface too fast, you can get what's called the bends or decompression sickness because you get too much nitrogen in your blood and it hasn't had time to boil off. Um, Another bad thing is you could lose all the air in your tank while underwater, which would also be very life threatening. No air, you obviously are going to die. Uh, let's see, I put a little PowerPoint together, and if I can get to it quick enough without disrupting too much of the presentation, we'll try and get to it. There we go. So I found out that there was about 26,000 sold of these BCD vests sold in the US. About 800 were sold in Canada. The firm received about 23 reports of the buttons on the BCDs breaking. So in total, 34,000 BCDs sold. Divided by the 23 reported failed, that gives us a failure rate of roughly 0.7%, which isn't a ton, but seeing how this vest is, as we learned, a mission critical type of product, you can see why they would recall this quite quickly. The retail cost was between $320 and $430. So I just took an average of $375 and multiplied that by the manufacturing cost at 0.65 and came up with a manufacturing cost of about $243.75. So I took that number and multiplied it by 34,000, the vests that were sold, and I came up with uh, a number which I was kind of surprised to see, 8,028,750. Now, that can be quite detrimental to a small company. Fortunately for Zeal, they were acquired by Hush Outdoors back in 2012. Now, Hush Outdoors is a big company which goes and buys out these littler companies such as Atomic Aquatics or Oceanic or Liquid Vision. Um, Doing some research on Hush, I found out that back in July 2018, there was another recall that was due to faulty regulators. The device that regulates the air that the scuba diver breathes, which was produced by Oceanic. Now, that's the only recall that I could find. And I believe that had Zeal been a company off on its own, they might not have recovered from this. Um, Mainly because the BCDs look like they're bread and butter. And in the diving world, one little thing like this could brandish your name and make it to where no one wants to buy your product anymore because they're be considered unsafe. However, seeing how Zeal is partnered up with Hush Outdoors, I believe that they will be able to kind of recoup from this, and Hush Outdoors and Zeal can kind of take the hit, and perhaps they will be able to come up with a new design and something that will be a little safer and maybe a little more innovative and more appealing to the customers, and they might be able to recover from this. So anyway, with that being said, that's a little bit of information that I've found, and thanks for listening, and we'll talk to you all later.